Hello, hello, and welcome to the daily political and societal tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. It's the most wonderful day of the week. It's Sarah Wednesday.
Hello, my lovelies.
So, Sarah's here. Thank heavens. There's so much in the news. So, just want to say quickly, thank you to our troll slayers. Those who are wielding the wrenches, bless you. You have kept us safe for years now, and you have allowed us to build this great community. And thank you to everybody for being a part of the community. You've been so kind to each other. You've been so kind to us. Thank you. And if you are watching on replay, of course you are part of the community. Thank you. But all the questions are in the description box. Miss Sarah will be timestamping as we go. So you can pick and choose what you're interested in or watch back on like a higher speed, whatever works for you. So, all right. Yeah. What were, oh, Carolyn, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Today's my birthday. Thankful for every day. Oh. Well, if you want me to sing, let me know. I don't sing unless asked generally, and I will. I do take. You don't have to pay. I do take requests if somebody wants me to sing. All I ask is that you give me a real name, because I'm not singing for user 87365. That's not happening.
I love that.
Anyway, but you were telling me before we came on.
Yes.
Down in Louisiana.
Oh, yes. So I was scrolling through the Book of Faces this morning. And one of my local news programs was talking about how we finally got awarded the grant that we had applied for, the city, months ago to upgrade our water treatment plant because the water is funky. And of course, everybody in the comments are like, yay! And then those who know are like, well, that's, if Senor Musk decides to let go of those purse strings or the freeze doesn't, keep it all on ice. Well, no, because that's a local or state thing. It's like, but the grant comes from FEMA, but it's going to the state and they'll get it to us. And somebody said, yeah, I need you to slow down really quickly, which is an oxymoron, but just slow down real fast and sound out FEMA. It's an acronym. What does it stand for? What is the first word? What does the F stand for?
Felon.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. No.
Yeah, that's fudge.
Federal, perhaps, maybe.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yay, that piece of paper was written that said that y'all can have this money.
Yeah. Who knows? I did get a request.
Hit it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carolyn. Happy birthday to you and many more. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Oh, and thank you, Shana, for becoming a new member. Thank you.
All right. Well, we as you guys know, before we try to start as up as we could go. And there wasn't a whole lot of up. I'm trying. But sometimes God just does us a solid. The universe says, I got you, boo, and throws one right at you. And right before we came on, a little ding went off on my phone. to let us know that Fox has just announced that they have a new host for their weekend evening slots.
Yay.
Lara Trump.
No.
Yeah. She didn't get Hexasol weekend morning slots. Oh no, she's like 9 p.m.
Isn't that kind of a dead time?
Isn't she kind of dead behind the eyes? I mean,
that is true. That is okay. So she get. I'll pull 3 cards just because I'm curious. But yeah. This is, but I'm using Housewives Tarot today.
Oh, Julie.
Oh, thank you, Julie. But I'm so sorry. You fractured your tailbone. Oh, ouch.
Owie.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Oh, okay.
Lara
Trump. This is the sitting pretty card.
Mm.
They want to get in good with Trump, and this feels like they would have given her a job, hanging out in a closet. I mean, just doing anything, but this would make her feel special. But this feels like this is the 100% the only reason she's getting this is because they're trying to get in good with Trump.
Yeah.
That's it. And I love these because literally right behind it is the Emperor and the World card. So that's why. That's the whole reason. Page of Swords. A child of someone with power, the legislative power. Yeah. 4 of Cups. She despises anything liberal or decent, or trying to decide if she despises her children. She acts like she does. 7 of Cups. She will lie like a rug. Yeah. So, bye. Whatever.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Well.
Julie Hoffman says the felon apparently has threatened to destroy Iran if they unalive someone. I'm not sure if it's Bibi or not. My understanding was his threat was to destroy Iran if he was taken out. Because, of course, it's only about him. Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you. It makes a big difference.
Y'all are so sweet. Yeah, no, he's not thinking past himself.
No.
Never has.
Oh, you watched the Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, the Apprentice movie. Yeah.
How was it?
Sebastian Stan did an amazing job because I hated him in this movie. And yet I love Sebastian Stan. He plays Bucky in the Marvel, cinematic universe. So I love Sebastian Stan. I hated him in this movie. So he did a wonderful job. The movie was good in that it held no punches. Like you see. It even for a half second, just a half one. Just this much. I almost felt bad for Fred Sr.
Wow.
Yeah, right at the end. More for his mother. Not Fred's mother, but Trump's mother. And the casting on that one was good. The casting all across the board was a phenomenal job. Yeah. It shows you it shows you more of, like, we all knew how bad he was. But Tigress Sarah's taking one for the team. Yes. Yeah. And in the last 5 minutes of the movie, that's when the news broke about the tariffs days ago. And so I was like, oh, this is wonderful. This is just wonderful.
So you're watching the movie and your phone goes off.
Yes. But
was there something? Go ahead, please.
He has no original ideas. None. He's I mean, we know he's a narcissist, but he's a sponge of like he will, when he's surrounded by people, he will absorb their worst traits.
Wow. Oh my gosh, Pamela, thank you so much.
Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you, dear.
That's huge. Thank you.
Yes. I rinsed it. I had some. Go ahead.
So he soaks up everybody's worst traits?
Yes, he soaks up everybody's worst traits and makes them his own. So, like, at the beginning, he's narcissistic, but he's like he's not fine-tuned yet. You know what I mean? Like, he's got ideas, and he's not like, he's very yuppie, but he's not as evil yuppie. But as he surrounds himself by all of these big powered people like Cone and whatnot, and gets really into when he sees behind the curtain and the power that's amassed and whatnot, then it clicks. And then he just succubus, exactly, Paula. He's a succubus for everybody's evilness, and he hoards it and makes it his own. So, yeah, Roy did make him worse. Yeah. And at the end, he treated Roy just like he treats everybody else. And if anybody knows the Charlie Sheen story with the cufflinks.
Yes.
On Roy Cohn's last birthday, when they had him down at Mar-a-Lago, and Roy is deathly ill, Donald gives him some cufflinks, and Roy is just touched. And Ivanka sort of leans over at the end, and he's like, he's really frail, and he's holding on to him. And Ivanka just sort of leans over, and she's like, "They're pewter, dear. They're not real. He's treating you just like he's treated me and everybody else. They're not real."
Ivana?
Ivana. Yeah, sorry, not Ivanka. Ivana. And then you just see and yeah, it's just,
yep.
He is depraved.
You had told me one thing. There was only one thing you told me about the movie, about the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one thing you were getting some joy from. That's all I know.
There's been millions of years in the last few days since I watched it.
Oh, sure.
So
Sarah, the only thing Sarah told me about the movie was, well, she told me Sebastian Stan did an excellent job. He's a great, he really is a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
We're all Team Bucky,
Yes.
Awesome, but you were saying that there was one moment that you were, one scene where you were actually got a little bit of enjoyment about, because apparently Fred sent Trump out door to door to collect rent.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Judy.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Judy. Appreciate it. Okay, yes. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I'd forgotten about that. In the beginning of the movie, because it starts, before he has power. And before he has power, he is the youngest son of a jerk. And so as the youngest son, he's got the grunt work. He is the Eric of his world. And so, I know, right? And so, Senior sends him door to door in his slum buildings to collect the rent. And he's sitting there, and he's got his thing, and some people give him the rent, and some people are like, "I've only got so much." And he's like, "Well, we need the blah, blah, blah." And then other people are like, there's one guy that tries to stick his dogs after him, and somebody else who if you don't leave my doorstep right now, I've got boiling water, you're going to wear it. And yeah, it's just, he's humbled in the beginning. And I was like, "Aw, can we go back to that?" Can we just? Yeah.
Which, of course, plays into his racism, and
oh yeah,
I'm sure. But it wasn't just people of color who treated him that way. He's just,
yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Robert is the youngest. Okay. Well, at the time, the way that they portrayed it in the movie, you know, yeah. So the only boys in the actual movie were Fred Jr. and Donnie, and then they had some of the girls sitting at the table, but the rest I get it just for cinematic whatever. But it's called The Apprentice. I had some credit from at Amazon because like if you wait and have them deliver their boxes at a certain day, you get $1 digital credit or whatever. So I use that to rent it. I would not use my own actual money to do anything with. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You are most welcome. You're most welcome.
Shall we jump into? Oh wait, no. One last thing before we get to your questions. Information. You are going to at least want to know that this exists.
I'm going to I'll put the link in the description box.
Thank you. There is a website that might cheer you up a little bit. And that is this website, justsecurity.org, litigation tracker, legal challenges to the Trump administration actions. And so they're organizing all of this. You can search if it's an executive action or different executive actions, executive orders. Here we go. Immigration and citizenship.
And everything that's been done on it. Yeah.
Revoke. This is the one to revoke birthright citizenship. Here's an update. There's been a temporary restraining order issued. And this is the complaint here, and this is the name of it. Last updated, case summary, date filed, complaint, case name, and it just goes, they've got all of this. All of this. So this might cheer you up. Justsecurity.org to see all of this action against those executive orders and whatnot. But it says this is for executive actions, so it's not even just the executive orders. Over time, there may be more. So right now there are 33 entries.
Yeah. Now those are not all of his executive actions. Those are just court cases that have been filed against his executive actions. So
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Deb, yes, the link to the website is justsecurity.org. Once you get there, here in a minute, I've got the direct link to that subpage because you kind of have to go through. Just Security is a broader website, so you got to kind of weed through some stuff to find the litigation tracker. It's about mid to halfway down. But okay. Yeah, it's whew. Yeah. But it's so good to stay on top of things.
Right. And it's good to just know all this is happening.
Yes. And I love the fact that it says, update and the next steps, like what is coming,
Mm-hmm. Here's an update, issue temporary restraining order there. And down here, this to expand, plaintiffs are seeking. Yeah, it's just good stuff all the way down. So I wanted to make sure that you had this handy, that you knew this exists, and oh, thank you, lucky girl.
Yes. Well, and the thing is that there is so much going on, and it can be overwhelming. And then it's easy with the dark cloud of bleh to go, well, I mean, what nothing's being done. Like, I'm not seeing any changes. So to have a place where you can go when you're feeling like all is bleh, to say, okay, there are people fighting the good fight here. There have been things done. People are making headway where they can, so that there's something.
People are standing up.
Yes. There's something heartening about that. So, yes. Oh, we love you too, Ms. Gibson. We love you very much. Oh.
So, and Lois says democracy is fighting back. Yeah, for fighting. Yeah. Yep. So, just want to make sure you knew about that. Also, I found a person who had basically summarized the different parts of Project 2025
Mm-hmm.
and into like one line per thing they're going for.
Right.
And I'm going to organize that a bit better so we can keep an eye on, like, okay, they've gone after this one and they've tried that one, and all right,
point.
Right, or this,
Yeah.
and there are, but I want to make sure you also were aware of the website that's tracking pushback, at least legal pushback, because I think if we, it's almost like I think they made it, the Project 2025, so long and complicated on purpose.
Oh yeah,
and this simplified version, I think, will help us get a better grip on, okay, if they haven't done this, they haven't done that. If they do, we know where this came from, but that hasn't happened. They haven't done that. So yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well,
and into the news.
Here we go. Preface is by saying we have each other, and we're going to be okay. By hook or by crook, some which way. I am not omniscient. I don't know exactly how it's all going to work out, but we are going to be okay. We have each other. So, at 22:20, Love Gaddis and KM and several others were mentioning Trumplethinskin and Netanyahu held a joint press conference on Tuesday, where they announced that the U.S. would take over the Gaza Strip, end quote, and own it, continuing to promote the idea that Palestinian people should live elsewhere. Palestinians in Gaza, quote, should not go through a process of rebuilding, and that they had, quote, lived a miserable existence there, end quote. Earlier in the afternoon, during a meeting with Netanyahu in the Oval, 47 said that Palestinians should, quote, resettle permanently in, quote, nice homes somewhere else. What will happen to the Palestinians removed from Israel? Mango Mussolini proposed Egypt or Jordan, but Egypt and Jordan have refused to take them. They're like, nah, you ain't throwing us in this mess, bucko. Nah. So we have several questions, but we'll just start with what's going to happen to the Palestinians. I know. I'm sorry.
No.
I know. I mean, I know. I'm just saying, from an empathetic standpoint, I'm sorry. This is
no. This is what I do. I mean, we give these people power. We have to keep an eye on them, and it has such huge implications. What they do has such huge implications. Sorry, because there. Well, I mean, this was always the plan.
Yeah.
Thank you, human stock photo, plastic mannequin Kushner.
Mm-hmm.
The princeling. I've got severe isolation at the end. Up until that point, I don't like any of these cards. The situation's already bad. It's heartbreaking. I've got action. This is adding insult to injury. And there's the devil card. Now, what he's talking about doing would actually, City Pool says the felon's idea won't work. Well, that's what I'm getting. There's a huge burden in doing that. If people, it does feel like a lot of countries rallying around the Palestinian people, and I've got a big old hermit card. Plus the fact this hermit card is also related to, well, hang on, I'll do the other 3 cards and then I'll tell you about what I heard. So I was looking for clarification. There's military action. There's refusal to listen to any, I don't know, decency. And then there's fruits of labor to carve up that land. So they have a real plan to do this. Here's the thing, though. There is a part of Reddit. It's like r/conservatism or something.
Yeah. And
there's a one woman, she's taken one for the team, and she's keeping a close eye on that. Yes. And all this horrible stuff that the felon has been doing, she's like, they don't care. They're like, well, it needs to be done, or they're breaking the law and they deserve this, and on and on and on and on. She said, but as soon as he talked about taking Gaza and controlling it, they were furious. How is that America first? That's not America first. He needs to focus here. Da, 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 da. It's like, oh, you poor little people who honestly think he has any interest beyond himself.
Yeah.
No. But this isolation, the world would turn against us in general, or most of it. Those of you, and I do not like, I really try not to shame Democrats. I don't think we should be attacking fellow Democrats, but I will just throw in here that there are some people who did not vote Democratic. Because they said that something had to be, that Biden wasn't doing enough for the Palestinians. So they voted for Trump.
Or they didn't vote at all. One of the two. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I made a post about that. I was like, well, at least the anti-Harris people and the we should be putting America first people have a common at the moment. And also from an evangelical point of view, for us to go in, that's not our land. We have no. For us to go in to build things, because we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, to go and build shops and stuff and make it all fancy, that is literally the equivalent of folks selling things in the temple. And we remember what Jesus said about that. Jesus got the whip out. Jesus was not happy. So I am waiting to see the hoops that they construct and the contortionalism that they perform to jump through these, trying to justify this, at least from an evangelical point of view.
These cards are, I'm not getting anything here that says that there's much stopping him before it gets really, really bad. Mm-hmm. Kushner and his ilk, their cruelty. This is the far right victory. That's how Trump sees it. There's Trump the man who will twist anything to be anything because, and then the people supporting him, the Queen of Wands. That's all I've got here.
Oh, well,
and how exactly are people going to pay for that?
Yeah, that's a that's a question here down below too, but we get to that real quick. Ms. Gibson says on whether U.S. troops would be sent to Gaza. 47 said, as far as Gaza is concerned, we'll do what is necessary. If it's necessary, we'll do that. Are we going to send troops there?
Okay, over on, I think she's got a YouTube channel and puts shorts here, but I know she's also on TikTok. But there's the yarn lady.
Mm-hmm.
The yarn, what is it? The cult, yarn cult lady? What is, I can't remember her.
I know, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay, she was raised in a literal cult.
Mm-hmm.
And she got away from it and went into the military and was an intelligence officer and became a captain. And then she left the military and she wrote Knitting Cult Lady. Thank you, lucky girl. On YouTube, here's the link. Thank you. Yes, Knitting Cult Lady. And so she started a channel, and she's always knitting as she's talking. But she wrote a book about being in a cult, and then how much about being in the military was like being in a cult, in that they break you down and then build you up the way they want you to, and then you do what you're told, and this kind of stuff. But she's been answering a lot of questions recently that people are posing about, well, what the military should do something. And it's like, okay, the military.
Yeah.
That's like saying the police should do something. What police? Where?
Yeah.
What? How? It doesn't. You don't just like. I mean, she didn't say it this way, but you don't just like scream out of a window, "Hey, police, do something," and then stuff happens. I mean, it has to be more specific. She said one of the things, though, that has been incredibly important in the military since after World War II was it is drilled into everyone in the military. You do not take an illegal order. It doesn't matter who, from the person in the rank above you to all the way up to the most starred generals. You do not follow an illegal order.
Right.
And you tell them to your face. You tell them to their face, no, I will not do that. That is an illegal order. And you will, if it is, you will get away with it. Now, if you're wrong, it's not going to go well for you. But if it really is illegal, nothing, you don't have to do it, and nothing bad can happen to you. So the other thing she was talking about was that in a lot of other militaries like Russia, the leaders tell the subordinates what to do. And if you're in a battle or something and the leader is unalived in battle, the rest of the people just have to wait until somebody else tells them what to do.
Right.
Whereas that's not how our system works at all. There can be some battle going on or what have you, and somebody gets on the communicator, whatever form it takes, and can be talking to a general, and this person can be a private, and the general can say, I want to talk to somebody in charge, and the person can say, I'm it. And then it's like, okay, then you're it. So between those kinds of things, the people, it means that the members of our military have agency that members of a lot of other militaries, not all, but a lot of other militaries don't have.
Right.
And it is important. It isn't just don't follow an illegal order, wink, wink. No, they're serious. And it's apparently a very important part. So the good news is that a lot of the things that the felon might want to do. The actual rank and file don't have to do it.
Thank God.
So I just wanted to mention that. I wanted to make sure you knew about that. She has a lot of good information. I would follow her, or I do follow her. So we're looking at the possibility of boots on the ground.
Yes.
Who's going to pay for it? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And you've got to get this through Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I should look at after this is, will Trump just back, Nettie hoo-hoo, just back him in general, but demand a certain amount of that land for himself, his company, his family?
Yeah, that was the next question. The next two questions were if it was going to be his or the US's, and then how will Congress pay for this? Those are the next two. Yeah.
So what I'm getting is, who would pay for this?
Mm-hmm.
He's running his mouth. He didn't run this by anybody.
Mm-mm. Oh no. Mm-mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
he did not. He didn't go talk to Speaker Mikey the heretic. He didn't run this past anybody.
Mm-mm.
There's a thief card. But Four of Pentacles, day late and $1 short. Three of Swords and the Tower. That does not feel like the military is okay with this. It just doesn't. And that's why I told you about what the sweet knitting lady said.
Right.
Because that does not feel like they're willing to do this. Chris L says if you can't get the military to do it, he will get some military type group to do it. On that scale, who?
Well, yes and no. I mean, how to put this? Land-wise, it wouldn't be as big of an invasion as it would have been if it were a larger area of land.
It's still
substantial.
Yeah,
it's very substantial.
You can't send the arrogant toddlers there.
Oh, no, they couldn't organize their way out of a paper bag.
Yeah. So the next thing would be at 38 minutes, 47 announced the U.S. will own the Gaza Strip. Right. But his son-in-law has been buying up land in Gaza since the inauguration. Has he now? Will the U.S. own it? Will 47 own it? Will 47 use the military to clean his land? Clean his land. So how has Kushner been buying up land from there?
Let me get a link on that.
Yeah. Cindy Poole says, didn't know Gaza was for sale.
Hang on 1 second.
Chris Cole was suggesting who would do it. Eric Prince and his groups. Well, but that's the other thing. They're expensive. They're very expensive. Lois says everything's for sale. Well, in their world, maybe. I'm getting some problem, like Kushner having problems keeping hold of this.
Yeah. KM, I'm gonna reword your question here. His son-in-law has been wanting to buy up land in Gaza because I'm not seeing where anything has officially. He may have been sending money places to say, hey, once this is done, that's ours. But as for, he holds no deeds.
Yeah, there's it's kind of it's very dodgy. It's a excuse the term, crapshoot.
Yes.
In this case, a roulette table, but in the picture. But I've got a big justice card in the way. Now he's like, ooh, I'm gonna look at the goodies. Ooh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. But there's disappointment here that he can't get what he wants. Then I've got a 10 of Swords and a Queen of Swords. Now, what is Nettie Hoo Hoo gonna do? That's a whole different thing. But for it feels like for Kushner, which, and because it 47 isn't gonna,
so the fact that these conversations have even been had is not surprising. Not his son-in-law, his godson.
Yes, but even with the power that Nettie Hoo Hoo and the felon have,
right?
There's something in the way here. There's a lot in the way here. So is he looking, going, "Ooh, I'll have this and I'll have that"? Yeah, he can dream all he wants to, but there's stuff in his way.
Yeah. And then at 4120, Ms. Gibson says, is 47 going to get this passed through Congress? Where's the money going to come from? Is that why he wants to shut down all the government programs?
It feels more impulsive than that. I think trying to shut down big chunks of the government, that's because the Heritage Foundation has told him to do it. Well, there's the country, and the country, we still have some judgment here. Okay, this in theory is, I mean, it's a boat full of weapons.
Yeah.
So that's the first card. But 10 of Cups, this is focus on happy families here. And there's the world very much pushing back.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the felon doesn't care. But I know it seems like he gets away with everything. He does whatever he wants, but it just feels like there's a point at which there's a painting. I keep getting this. I get this image of this painting. It's not the Lady of Shalott. It's the she's the one in the boat. It's the other one by the same artist. Waterhouse. The woman, she's like a, I can't think of it. Waterhouse painting. No, it's not that one. Okay, there's one of these where it's the woman's a is Waterhouse, the woman's like a witch or something, and
Okay.
it's not the magic circle where it's just a woman outside, but there's another one where it's like she's going around, but there's all this like red tape. It's weird. It's almost like there's these cords in the air or something, or around her. And if you look at it, it's like, boy, there's going to come a point here where you're going to get hemmed in and trip.
Right.
And that's, I'm trying to remember maybe it's in a different painting, but that's the image I'm getting, is that red tape finally starts
squeezing.
Because right now he's throwing so much out there, and it just reaches a point where it all starts twisting in on everything else. Anyway, Old Silver says Jared owns the Saudis. Oh no, owes the Saudis. He does, but the Saudis don't want Israel to have the Gaza Strip.
Well, all right. So moving. Did you have anything else on this one before we moved on? Okay.
Nope. We should read on. Honestly, we should read on Puerto Rico, because I was supposed to yesterday, and I just reached a point where I just couldn't. I couldn't stand the energy anymore.
Yeah. All right. At 45:30. Nettie has a question. Bless, honey. With Maduro, the president of Venezuela, wanting Puerto Rico, will the parasite in the White House just hand us over to him, or will the local military fight them both to save us? Because it's looking pretty. The Puerto Rican governor has been sounding the alarms, because I was looking this up yesterday, for a while, weeks, saying, hey, they're coming. This is happening. Help us. And
wouldn't, if that happened, wouldn't, if somebody did that and succeeded, wouldn't Trump be the first president to lose American territory in a long time?
Over a century.
Okay, let me show you what I've got. Card for the reading is Puerto Rico has a huge amount of support in this country. It just does. The felon is an idiot. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
He's awful. And far-right communication, he's talked about, during his last administration, he talked about getting rid of it or something, or I don't remember what. Stupidity. And you think, uh-oh, are we going there again? But I've got 9 of Cups here. And that's all of our stuff, all of America's stuff. But it's also a merchant card. So it's like, uh-oh, okay, is that bad? But no, it doesn't feel bad. It feels like, no, you're one of us.
Right.
You may not be a full state, but you're us. You're one of us. Yeah. And there's a celebration. So that's good. But I've got chaos here, and I think it links back to this Fool card. So there's, what's interesting to me is I'm not feeling an invasion.
Okay.
But chaos, it's what he does. Hang on, let me double check. Sandy says the Panama Canal was kind of a territorial loss. Well, we built it, but we didn't. The French started it. They just ran out of money.
And we didn't populate it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't trust the felon to do what he should do, but there are vested interests that we have there, and we don't want Venezuela controlling that just for our own national security, our national. And I know, please don't come for me saying national security is important as the people. I know that.
Right.
I'm talking about this idiot and the people in government, do they care? Do these people, is their main concern what happens to the people? No. But I do have Judgment and the Sun. So I wouldn't put it past Trump to say the wrong thing, float some really bad ideas.
It is a day ending in day. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not getting invasion.
Well, that's good.
I am getting Major Arcana, though. I'm getting Judgment. I'm getting Hermit. But unfortunately, expect chaos.
Yeah.
But take care, Cindy.
Oh, goodness. Oh, Katie and Proud. Give a link for that, dear.
Hang on, I missed it. I don't see it.
About West Point. I'm not shocked, considering who's there. All right. Did we want? I know it's Wednesday.
Okay. West Point disbands the clubs for women and minorities.
Okay. Well, that's in line with them disbanding everything else for anything that doesn't celebrate straight white men.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure if there was a Robert E. Lee Appreciation Club, I'm guessing that would be allowed to stand. Did we want to look at the post office? Because there's been a lot of talk about that real quick before. Do we have time before you?
Oh yeah.
Wrap up for today? Okay.
I wouldn't say I want to. I wouldn't say I was missing it, Bob.
So do we have time?
Yes. Yes, we
do. Okay. So we are skipping to number 7 for those keeping up in the chat. Okay. So we threw out tariffs like we slinging Pokemon cards, right? So you get a tariff, you get a tariff, you get a tariff. Well, with Mexico and Canada, it's been postponed, walked back a teeny. China, not so much. It was a 10% tariff thrown at China. China was like, watch this, and threw one back at us. And then, you can't disrespect me. Decided last night that an executive order should be made to stop all packages. Letters were still allowed, but all packages from crossing over from China through USPS. This morning, USPS declared, sorry about you. They're going to violate that order, and packages will be handled as normal. There will be some blustering from 47, obviously, because how dare they? They're my people, and I say no. I mean, that's a given. But with all of his blustering and grandstanding, could we be looking at a funding withdrawal from the post office or something else? Like how petty is he going to be?
Well, okay, here's the thing, though. Are they really violating it? Or has DeJoy, who is anything but a joy, what DeJoy turned around and said was, we don't have the infrastructure in place,
right,
to take the sheer volume of these packages that have a value under $800 that are coming from China, and to actually process them as not an exception.
Right.
We literally physically can't do it. So it isn't that they're going against
he's not doing
Trump.
it because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
But it's still, he's still like, this is not happening. We can't do it.
It's physically, we can't.
Yeah. But we know how much someone hates hearing the word no.
Yeah. This is not his focus. There is no major arcana here. Four of Pentacles. We can't do it. Coming up short. Day late and a dollar short. Queen of Wands. The Joy wants to, I'm a supporter of, the King of Swords, the felon. Page of Cups. Yeah, this would hurt a lot of people, a lot of small businesses, a lot of and it would do the thing is that, again, and this I'm the only person I know who talks about this. The human mind, we have not evolved to be able to understand the sheer scale of the number of people and the amount of stuff we're moving, and the just bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you have to, as a human being, you have to actively try to look at the bigger picture, expand your mind, even physically look at pictures of huge amount of people or stuff or what have you. This idiot, he's not trying to grow as a person.
There's understatements. That was fabulous. I needed that. I almost choked on air.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I needed that.
Okay. So yeah, he doesn't understand the scale. Three of Swords, Page of Wands, Seven of Swords, Thief card. I don't know. He might try something at some point, or he might say ramp up, so maybe you can do it in the future. But there's no major arcana here.
I do think he'd get enough pushback from all of his billionaire Silicon Valley buddies, because they need those parts, and Bezos needs,
Yeah.
So.
Sharon Rice says, "Don't order from Wish." Noted. Personally, I wouldn't buy anything from Wish. Wish is awful.
Yeah,
it's just quality. Look, I know there are some people who really struggle financially, and so I know, I'm not 100% against Temu, just because, I know there are people who can barely make ends meet, and there are some basic little things they need, and they need the, and you say, well, just buy American. Well, if you go to Amazon, there are things on Amazon that are the exact same thing that's on Temu, only they cost more because there's a middleman. That's it. Right. It's not that there's an alternative. Right. It's that all you'd be doing is paying a middleman. And there's some people who are really in dire financial straits who are like, no, I need that. I need these things. So why would anyway? So, but yeah, Wish that I wouldn't buy anything from there. Their quality is just not there at all.
Shein, however you want to pronounce it. Temu, AliExpress, all of that. I would be.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you should. Right. Raymond says Temu and Shein are data collecting sites, though. I'm not saying this is a great option.
No.
I'm just saying this is what's on the this is the situation. Right. Now, what you decide to do is what's best for you, what's best for your situation. There are people really, really struggling financially, and I'm not going to condemn anybody, because the one thing about Temu, there are, of course, it's not perfect, but there are some things in place to try and stop some of that production. They say, and there's some things in place so that stuff from there isn't made by slave labor. There's action. Carol says Temu quality is sorely lacking. And some things, yes. Yes, and Lois. Yes, Lois. Buy local if you can. Support small businesses. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm not. Again, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying I'm not going to come down on people who are struggling.
Yes.
So just be aware and do what's best for you and your the people you love and are trying to, keep body and soul together.
Absolutely. As far as everybody, folks in the chat talking about data collection, at this point, just keep yourself as safe as you can. Stay on top. If you are not privy to or able to get a service like Experian, which they have a free version that keeps up with your credit report and whatnot and your data. Stay on top of it what you can. But at this point, everybody has our data. I mean,
including
I'm not
Muskie.
advocating for anything, but that ship has sort of yeeted itself out of the dock. Yeah.
I would like to read before I go. I would like to read on. You were just talking about it. Data. Oh, will Musk and the child hackers will they be removed, and their servers and their data collection stuff or their whatever they're doing using AI, will they get removed? Please. Oh dear, Katie and Proud. That's terrifying. All right. We know that the emperor can never be held accountable for what legally accountable for what he's done in office. But nobody else has that protection. He has come out later and said, "Oh, Musk is a special government employee who doesn't get a paycheck, but he is a government employee and he's special." But that's after the fact. That wasn't
right
when it happened.
Right.
This is bad. We know that. This is bad. This is very bad. And look at him all smug and sitting pretty, and look what I have.
Yay.
There is strength in the system. There are some things in place that help a little, but there's definitely damage that's been done. But I get a world card. I get a point where this ends, but it isn't. It's certainly not going to come from the emperor.
No.
No, it's I'm going to guess, just from process of elimination, it would have to come from the courts. Yeah, no, don't no Congress. Yeah, that's Speaker Mikey. Yeah. Trump, the fool, doing awful things. Has all this information. Four of Swords, but that's quiet as a tomb, and 10 of Pentacles. So they're definitely going to walk off with some information. That's what I'm getting there. But that world card keeps coming up. So I think, so is it at the courts, or they just get bored and walk away, or what? At what point do we get Muskie and the baby huskies? I don't know. The children, the hacker, the littlest hackers. See? Hanged Man. So stop. But Ace of Pentacles, there's all that information. Knight of Swords, and then there's trying to re-protect the system or something. So I am getting pushback at some point, but there's a lot of damage that's already been done.
Sherry brought up a good point, and I mentioned this yesterday before you went on. I put it in chat, but I don't know how many saw it. If you were still working, and even even if you're not, it wouldn't hurt. Go to the Social Security website, print up a copy of your Social Security statement, get it on paper. How much, the whole, if you were to retire today, this is how much you would get, this is how many quarters you've paid in, that. Get a copy of that. Hang on to it. It doesn't hurt to have snapshots of data, of your data.
Yeah.
So.
And that's going to do it for today. But there are more questions to roll over for tomorrow. I will be here. I'm literally here every single day. You can look through we can talk about the news together, news with friends. And we're going to get through this. All right. So everybody, please hang in there, breathe. Stay calm. Before I came on here, a little stretching, a little breathing, some meditating on this positive, channeling this positive energy into the world, into your life. 10 minutes of just calming your nervous system does a lot of good. So stay calm. Links in the description box. And also been working on color organization stuff. There's a new video up. There's the free giveaway to help with your budget. I'm trying to help. I really am trying to help.
Yes.
So, all right. Hang in there. And thank you, Miss Sarah.
You're most welcome.
All right. Well, if that's the case, oh yeah, please.
I will note that there's so much good energy being generated on Stay Calm that even Boo Boo could not help himself from hopping in the middle of it. Yes.
Yesterday, I was did the positive energy, and then you have excess energy, so like put it in the shield, your shield that goes around you, or what have you. And as I was trying to do that, I was saying, the positive energy into the shield around you. As I'm doing this, and I'm sending this positive energy into this shield. Boo Boo got up, he walked over, and he stopped right here. So it was like, oh, it is positive energy into the competitive. And then he just turned around and he walked, and he just enjoyed that. And he just turned around and he went and he laid back down. So he came over just it's like, oh, we're sending positive energy. Okay, here, I'll stand right here. Just give it here.
Positive energy.
Yes. Positive energy. So it was adorable. So that was actually on yesterday's. So if you go to the channel, you can look at yesterday's one, and you can see that toward the end or near the end. So anyway, okay. You're not alone. No. We are in this together.
Yes.
I know it seems like there are no good days ahead, but they're out there. They are. All right. So hang in there. Keep breathing. And I will see you later. At 3:00, Miss Sarah is going to start today's creative sprints.
Yes.
You've got us for hours a day. You've got me every single day. You're not alone. Hang in there. All right. And we'll see you later. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Be safe.